Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Box with the Technical Trader, techtrader.com. It's Wednesday, the 15th of October. These are the charts of the day. We had a pretty good day on Wall Street, I'll give you that, and a lot of stocks jumped out. Let's take a look at a few stocks that I'm interested in. I wanted to show you the patterns on ABEO, which was a swing trade when it popped and pulled back. Then followed through, but couldn't get the volume I needed, and then it pulled back. This pattern is considered a falling wedge, and today it popped out on 2 million shares, gaining 25%. That may be the beginning of what I was looking for originally. So now let's look for 3.5 and 4 3/4 as your initial targets on the ABEO. APHA may have led the marijuana stocks back. You can see the long decline these have had. This one in particular, from September of last year, trading almost 17s, dropped down to 4 and change. Today, the big breakaway gap, up $1.05 or 24% on 17.6 million shares, huge volume and a breakaway move. So at resistance here, from the prior highs around 553, I suspect that tomorrow it follows through, gets up to at least 580, and may be getting up to 6,610. I want to see this eventually get up to 6.5 and 7.5 as targets. CNST with a big explosive move following the last several days. We're up now 5 days in a row from 760 to about 1207, almost doubling. Big volume for this stock, relatively the biggest volume in about 7-8 months. That breaks it out across resistance and now may be headed towards a test of what I consider the next level that we want to be interested in. That's going to be up here around 12 3/4 and 14. Those are my next targets going forward. The XPR, after a big downtrend, pulled back, popped again and pulled back, formed a wedge, and today may have popped out of it. Take a look at the angle of ascent on this. That wedge popped, closed near the upper end of the range, up 33 cents from 11.7% on 1 3/4 million, almost 1.9 million. So at this point, I'm expecting this to follow up, test 350, and then your swing targets are 4 1/4 and 5. Form factor, it popped out of a wedge today. At least that looks like a wedge to me if you look at it this way, in there. So the pop out came with thrust and volume, 465,000 shares. You can see the stock is at the top of the intermediate channel, but it might accelerate in here. The targets are 23 and 26.5. FRAN, after the big pop and wedge, it's moving out, I believe. This should be a swing. I'd like to see it get volume, especially if it gets over 17.5, it may run. The targets at 19.5 and 24.5. Glue popped out of a base and through resistance into the gap. I think it tests 6.5 and 695.7 short term, but if it does make a move that of any consequence, my swing target is 7 3/4. HAAR, I gave a swing on when it popped here, pulled back and wedged, and then popped out again. I think it's going to go. This time I need more volume though. We have a bit of resistance at 12 3/4. We get through that, I'm looking at 14.5 and 16.5. Horizon Therapeutics, nice long rising channel. Now, in the last several months, it's been consolidating, first popping and holding in that zone. We're going to need to get this up to 29.25 to get it really going. Then my targets are going to be closer to 32 and 39. Intelsat, looks like it came out of a base pattern, pulled back and then popped today. With the last 3 days, big volume. Today trading 9 million shares. It was up 4.3%, and it looks like it wants to extend. That's, as I said, a break out of a base in my opinion. NVIDIA is coming out of a big, almost year-long base. Tells me this wants to go higher. 220 and 240 are my targets. RETA with major drug news exploded today. This is up 4 days in a row from 75 to 163. At the top of the long-range channel, it may need to back and fill and consolidate, but I think this is going to be a $200 stock. We'll see. RLMD, similar action today with a major explosive move. You have resistance at 45, today closing at 26. So I'll go with today's high at around 36 and then 46. If this gets the upside momentum, let's follow through. Seattle Genetics popped and now it's been wedging. Today up a little bit, up less than a point, but I think it's getting ready to pop and go. Targeting 89 and 95 and 105. Square with a V bottom and a platform may have popped out today. Closing at 64 1/4, that was up 4%. Your next target is going to be a test of that area near 67.5 and then a massive gap at 70.5, 71. VNet popped yesterday, followed through a bit today. It looks like a base that may be emerging. I would look for this stock to make through resistance at about 9, and then we'll test the 11-12 zone. Winnebago popped a wedge today at resistance. Now, if this inverse head and shoulder or cup and handle break out, this is going to be a $47 stock. Its secondary target might be all the way up there near 57. XPO Logistics extending its move after breaking out a few days ago. This is now 5 days in a row at resistance. Next target 85 and 93. And finally, ZYXI popped out of its wedge, followed through to yesterday and backed off. I'd like to see it come on again and hold support at around 11 and a quarter. My target's going to be 13 and a half, 15. And eventually they're going to go 17 or more. For now, this is HB signing off. Have a good evening.